Kalamazoo. It is me again, Commissioner Stephanie Moore. And yes, you are on MOOREtv. We're here for some more table talk. And today, my special guest is the one and only Nicole Triplett. And many of you know her as a businesswoman, a clinician, an entrepreneur, and just making a way for other sisters and brothers, entrepreneurs here in the community. So we're going to focus with Nicole today on Black Wall Street, Kalamazoo. That's right. We at the table talking about Black entrepreneurs and what the work and the business that they have. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you my sister girl, Nicole Triplett. Hey, and welcome to the table.
Hey, hey, hey. First of all, I want to thank you, Commissioner Moore, for all of the tireless work that you do within the community. I mean, you're day in and day out, pushing information, advocating. I mean, I don't know sometimes where you get the energy from, but we want you to know that we thank you. We thank you for being on the front lines and taking a lot of the brunt of these issues that come along concerning the Black community, as well as Kalamazoo as in a whole. So we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. You know what? I am learning, Nicole, to receive love. So thank you. I appreciate that. I receive that. So how are you? We're surviving through a pandemic. You already have a lot of things going on. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. It seems like through this pandemic, I'm working more than I was prior. More with less pay, I should say. So, but it's more serious background, getting at the tables, doing advocacy and pushing for Black businesses. So for those of you that don't know, I'm Nicole Triplett. I'm the founder of Black Wall Street Kalamazoo, which is a platform that was formed based out of the need to support, educate, and give the Black entrepreneur a safe space to market. We definitely push collaborations with Black businesses. We support that education, and we give a platform where we can start to circulate our dollars in the community prior to the dollars just leaving out. So, because that is going to be the key to a lot of the generational wealth. So we need to learn to support each other, share and collaborate. So we just needed a space to do that. And in the last 3 years, I know you can see it, our city has been very inspired by the entrepreneurial movement in the Black community. So we're just happy to see that moving and people developing their talents. And there has been an increase in the collaboration in our communities, I would say.
So you talked a little bit about Black Wall Street, but is there a mission statement, and how does one become a part or a member of the Black Wall Street Kalamazoo?
So basically, the mission statement is wrapped up in everything that I stated. So yeah. The mission basically, without all of the background, is just to increase the lifespan of the African American dollar in our community, to celebrate and support the Black entrepreneur.
Okay. Simple enough, understandable. So how could an entrepreneur be connected or be involved with the work that you're doing?
It's really as easy because this is an open platform. And so it's up to us to help us. So it's really as easy as just going and joining the Facebook group and being active within that group. And when we are throwing the main event that we are known for, which is the Black Business Expo, engage with the expo. You can also sign up to have your business registered at www.blackwallstreetkalamazoo.org. You can have your business listed there. So if anyone is looking for a specific type of business and you would like to support an African American entrepreneur, then you can go take a look at that webpage, which is a directory of all the Black businesses.
Now say that webpage again.
Kalamazoo, Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. I'm sorry, blackwallstreetkalamazoo.org. It's .org at the end.
So how important, Nicole, is it that we support Black business, Black entrepreneurs?
It's very important. because that is where we are going to be able to begin generational worth for our families. We want a lot of the free money, grant money, because we need a foundation and footing. A lot of the other populations, they come in with generations of wealth, or they come in third, fourth generations of being a business owner. So they have that foundation that they can just build upon, a foundation that includes economics, money, and a foundation that includes the knowledge. So we are at a disadvantage for that. So it's very important that we support ourselves, because only we can save us. And that's what the other majority populations do.
Mm-hmm.
They support each other. They keep those dollars circulating. So then there's always a volume of finances flowing through those communities.
Absolutely.
And we don't support our own, then we will never begin to get that base.
Absolutely. So I firmly believe that not only do we want entrepreneurs to grow and develop and launch businesses, we want them to sustain them. And in order to do that, having that foundation in place, having the business plans, doing the studies, and really having a focus or plan, if you will, of how they want to sustain beyond 3, 5, and 10 years. So that's part of the work that you all are doing, assisting these small businesses with that, those groundwork tools, if you need.
Sustainable Black businesses is the key word that we like to use a lot of times. So we make sure that we are connecting, we're connectors, we connect businesses with resources, so that, because we know that African Americans are very creative. We survive in any type of conditions. So if you allow us access to those resources that the majority population has, there ain't no telling what we might do. So we take it very seriously in getting those information pieces out, those resources out, because we will take advantage of them. We have more than excuses. Because they look at it sometimes as we're just making excuses, or that we're complainers. No, if we can get to those tables, if we have the same access to resources, we'll thrive and we'll be sustained. But we have to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And so we start with getting that education and the knowledge, and connecting to those different resources that help institutions and businesses stabilize.
Well, you came right out the gate talking about how successful you have been and the members of the Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. And you are known for a signature event that you all hold annually. Talk a little bit about the expo and what people could expect when they can attend the next one.
Well, that's a funny thing, when they can attend the next one, right? So our expo is yearly, typically in August. Just last week, we did switch the date to September the 26th because of everything that's going on. A lot of the events obviously have been being pushed back. So that the Kalamazoo Black Business Expo will be held at the Expo Center on Lake Street, September the 26th now. So I just want to make sure that we start getting that date out there. What you can expect is a collaboration of Black business owners and the entire community, because the entire community comes out and supports one specific demographic of business, which is what Kalamazoo will need to help thrive, right? We don't want to put out the message that it's only for Blacks, but this gives you a chance to go and buy and purchase and speak to Black business owners in your community right here, purchase unique products, get unique services. So if you are about your community, if you want to shop small, this is your opportunity to identify some of those business owners that you may otherwise never come in contact with.
What are some of the categories of the different types of businesses that participate?
So we so far have capped the businesses off at 65 vendors. We have a lot of service-based businesses, a lot of food vendors. So we capped those off at about 5 for the event, because there's so much food, and every year all the vendors have sold out of their food. That's one thing we like to do. celebrate over food. So
Exactly.
we're keeping that tradition strong even within our expo.
Mhm.
Service businesses, food businesses, um, clothing and accessories. We have some nonprofits that have come through because nonprofits sometimes have that aspect of bringing money back in.
Mhm.
We've had transportation businesses, we artists, we have fitness. So it's really just a good time just to come and be inspired. Just come and enjoy everything that your community has.
Well, Nicole, you've also provided some training, some workshops to really help the entrepreneurs build their structure around their businesses. Can you talk about some of the trainings that you provide for them?
So we do every year try to do the Black Business Bootcamp. The Black Business Bootcamp, there's always going to be a mental component, because what we're finding is that a lot of times we have these skills, we have the resources, but somehow we still can't get all those pieces to come together. So sometimes we're not prepared in our mind to take that move, or we have other things that are in the background of our lives that are prohibiting our growth. So we'll always have the mindfulness piece. You're going to receive financial information, and when we talk about financial, we mean we're going to show you hands on. You leave with a document, you leave with some knowledge specific to your business, so that you know how to put out these documents that are requested when you're looking for funding, when you're going for a loan, when you're applying for grants. Um, so we have that component. You also are being taught about marketing, whether it's social media or in person, and the importance of creating a network. So we focus strongly on the mind, the money, and then all of your marketing. And so you leave the boot camp with something physical written down specific to your business. So it's not like you're sitting there, you're just gathering all this information and you're like, well, what do I do with it now? Or, okay, yep, got this laid out business plan. Now what do I put in there? We make sure you get that started.
So you're also making sure that these businesses know each other, that these entrepreneurs are networking, that they're mixing, if you will. You've also hosted a few mixers, right?
Yes, we haven't had a chance to do one yet, but we had a plan of doing a mixer, because sometimes it's good to be social, and to network and talk, have time to just sit down specifically talking about what others are doing and ask each other questions, and because we need each other. Networking, you will learn, is going to be key in scaling your business. So we do the networking for a few reasons, developing that relationship, building confidence, and building networks so that you can scale.
Absolutely. So, what do you see? Well, tell me, how has this COVID-19 pandemic, which it has impacted everybody from government to businesses to even how we are operating in our own homes, how has that impacted some of the entrepreneurs that are affiliated with Black Wall Street? Are they giving you any feedback? What are some of the experiences?
Well, I think we all can agree that Black business has been in crisis well before the COVID came along. So this just pushed us further into crisis. And now that America is in a crisis, now there's money flowing, there's money being found, there's barriers being knocked down. And so we
Say
were,
that, sis. Say that.
you
We
know,
don't want to miss that point.
billions of dollars all of a sudden are now available to be injected into the economy. So hey, good thing though, right? Because we pay attention, we know this thing. So now we have to make sure that we're making them accountable, saying, hey, when there was a crisis for the entire world, money was available immediately to be injected. So that's just as a side note, when we, because we need the money before, during, and after this.
Yes.
So our businesses are experiencing it on a further deeper level than the majority population, because we were already in crisis. The national funding that is coming out. I think we all see all over the news feeds, those companies that were already billion-dollar companies took advantage of millions and millions of that money. So if you're a business owner here in Kalamazoo looking at the businesses that receive, you become to get very discouraged, and you realize that you're very low on the totem pole for that funding. So then you begin to look at your local government and say, hey, well, what are they doing? What is the city of Kalamazoo doing? What are these private foundations doing? What are, the business entities that are structured to help doing? So we're looking to those. We're having issues with making sure that everyone is aware of the opportunities, and then making sure that we are allowed to take advantage of those at the same we want to be able to not be at the bottom of that
With the
list.
same access and opportunity as our counterparts. Equity in businesses, more so for Black businesses.
Yes.
This is why I love this table, because we can just talk, sis, and just keep it real. We ain't got a filter here.
Because I'm gonna tell you, if we've done surveys, and we don't know of anyone that was able to get the one true grant that had come out would have been the MEDC, that they dispersed grant monies to be dispersed through Southwest Michigan First. There was a petition started going around asking them to be transparent with that information of who received that grant money. As of now, they still have not come out with that information, but we believe through talking with business owner and the few surveys that we have put out, that none of our businesses were granted any of that money. There could have been several reasons. They didn't know about it in time, or they did not have the documentation together in time to get the application in. And
but
so,
you know what I think, because I think you've done a wonderful job. I've seen you, I watched you on social media, I follow you, I respect you, and I look up to you greatly. And I see where you did an amazing job of trying to reach some of our local entrepreneurs to prepare them, to get them ready for it. So I don't want to, and I know that's not your intent at all, that's not what you're doing, but I think it's our responsibility to also create our own narrative, because they have a responsibility to us to get this information in a timely manner, to help prepare individuals for all of this intimidating paperwork that creates a lot of barriers that keep people from accessing the dollars. That the truth of the matter, Nicole, most of those dollars flow because of us and our condition, yet they don't necessarily meet us. So I think having the conversation about when there's opportunities, make them accessible, and make them available to people, or at least give you being over this Black Wall Street, which is really an organization of Black business, to say, listen, Nicole, this opportunity is coming down the pipeline. Here's enough time, information, prepare the folks so that everybody can come to the table and eat. I think that is a responsibility by the funders, local government, anyone that's saying that they have a true interest in supporting minority-owned, women-owned businesses.
Well, let's get into that then, right?
Let's talk about it.
So we have been an afterthought, and you'll see in the article today from WMUK where I talk about, if we want to create true change, then we as a Black community cannot be an afterthought when they are going to do these plans. What happens is, now that they formed a committee to disperse the money, and they have the money, and they got the requirements out there, now someone says, well, hey, you don't have any, how are you going to reach the Black community? Well, now everything is already set.
Right.
So now I'm at the table to have, I don't know what kind of conversation, actually, if everything is already set.
Right.
So I do believe that there is a responsibility. They have connected with some of the key stakeholders in Black businesses here now. And so now I think there should be a lot of pressure, or at least they should feel that they need to make sure that our community knows these things because we paid attention, and we can't use the excuse like they didn't show up, they didn't do. We were ready to talk about what we needed during this time, but the plans had already been set.
The mold had already been made and it was not made to fit us. So Nicole, let me ask you this. Are you doing some things, working within the network to collect some data or collect some stories from some of the Black businesses to see, did you know, were you able to complete? Were you able to meet the timeline? Are you getting some of that feedback? Because that's the powerful information that you can do one of two things. You can take it to the table and hope that they listen and accept it, or you can create your own table and narrative and say, listen, this is the truth, the real deal experience of Black owned businesses here in Kalamazoo, and this is what y'all need to do to change things that will meet our need.
Yes, we have sent out 2 surveys via email, and we have did 2 polls on Facebook. So we have collected that information. So we have decided that we probably are going to have to create your own table. Right. Like I said earlier, we have to help us. Mm-hmm. So, but that still is a responsibility of more than us to allow us to access those funds so that we can disperse them in a way that's equitable. The biggest part that's missing here is that Black businesses don't operate exactly as a white business might. But that doesn't mean that they're not successful. We do have a few Black businesses in the community that have stayed around. However, it doesn't look like what the banks need or what the foundations need or what the private organizations need. So since it doesn't look that way, then you're blocked out of a lot of funds. So we need something that's tailored to how Blacks in business operate.
I absolutely agree. So let's look to the future. What are some of your plans? You know, what are, maybe you're having conversations with the businesses. Give us a glimpse of, you know, post this pandemic. I don't think we're ever going backwards. I don't think it's that, you know, we're going back to the same old status quo. What do you want to see going forward for Black businesses?
What I want to see us as a community do is to make sure that we are not ever put into this position again, that when these money come down, that they have the excuse to say we weren't prepared. So if there's any message that I can get out to my community is speak up. We need your data. We need you to participate when we ask you questions, because behind the scenes is way more than a Facebook post and saying that you're selling this or that. Behind the scenes, we need that information, because what we're looking to is to show that we have the numbers, and then we're saying, and now we're ready. We have the data, and now we're ready. So we need to make sure that we are getting our education, being consistent with those things. So when hopefully we never have to go through this again, but you have already been in crisis. We are already dealing with a flawed financial situation when you go to the banks. So you're going to need to be prepared. And this is a perfect opportunity while you have downtime to start really focusing on those pieces in your business that you need to actually set a foundation. So I think that we're gonna be okay. We're starting to go to push those funds to organizations like Black Wall Street Kalamazoo, like Sisters in Business, and there's probably other networks. But we want to make sure that the funds get into the hands of those type of businesses that are in the community, that are hands-on with the community, so that we know where those funds should be given to, and to make sure that they get it. When you make a fund and you say, hey, here's the money for everyone, mm-hmm. We're on the bottom of that.
Right.
So we're just saying targeted funds say, this is only who's in the target. So some of us have to receive it.
Right. So what you're talking about is equity. You're talking about what's fair, what's just, accessible for everybody, especially the ones who have experienced disparate treatment for so long when it comes to our economy. So, I definitely want to more than just applaud you, but lift you up, Queen, because you are doing the work that you're doing really does create generational wealth. It does give stability for entrepreneurs to create a foundation that they can live and work on and pass down to their children and to their children's children. So that's extraordinary. So I definitely want to commend you on doing that. Um, you know, as we kind of get to a close on this conversation, we know we've been through a lot, and we're resilient. We're a resilient community. We will make $1 out of 15 cents if we have to. We know that we can find the creativity to do what we need to do. We also know, Nicole, that the struggle is real, that sometimes we do grow weary in good doing. So I like to take some time to inspire people. Although we know what we know and we go through what we've been through,
Yes.
give us some words of encouragement of how people can just keep on keeping on, not just surviving, but being resilient, learning how to overcome during a time like this COVID-19 pandemic.
As people, we are resilient. So it is in you. So you're going to have some emotions about what's going on during this time, because we all are going through it. But just know that we're going to make it through it. We have to make it through it together. Continue to be creative. This is a time where your creative juices can really be flowing and be matured and be prepared for what's next to come. You're going to continue to find a way as long as you're doing some type of action. Keep a schedule. If you're not getting up, getting in the shower at a certain time and actually sitting at a desk or even a table, get a routine going, because what we know is that we can and we will survive. We just have to make sure that our goal is to survive. Our goal is to be resilient because it's already in us.
What about we're going to touch just a little bit on even some mental health advice. Sometimes we get stressed, the anxiety. What are some little tools and techniques that people can use that we're overwhelmed? We're sitting in front of computers and stuff nowadays. What are some little tidbits that we can use to cope, basically?
So what you want to do is you want to try to keep your life as normal as it was before the pandemic. But obviously the building's closing. Then you think in your mind, well, that's shut off. That's not an option. What am I going to do? Because you're focusing on everything that you're shut off from. You're not focusing on what now you are more open to. This is a time where now you can do those things with your family, get those relationships with your children. A lot of outside influences start to raise your children. Now you have this time to spend that one-on-one with them. You want to try to make sure that you're keeping a routine, things that you thought that you wanted to get around to but hadn't been getting around to. Then make a list of those things, start checking those things off of your list. Make sure that you're getting sunlight. The sun is shining today, so go out on your porch, take the dog for a walk yourself, drink more water. Because we're sitting inside. Alcohol sales are increasing. Domestic violence is increasing. People are stuck at home in situations that might not be as good as the situations that you are in right now. However, everyone has to figure out what they need to survive. So try to keep your life. Don't focus on what you are not having or what you're not entitled to do at this time. Say, what does this allow me to do now? What does this allow me to discover about myself? What is COVID telling me about my mental state as a whole? And take those things, use this as a growth period instead of focusing on all the things that you can't do. But be safe, obviously, be healthy, but focus on developing and taking a look at what is good out of this, what you're now allowed to focus on. Yes, you can sit in the house and you can focus on all the things that you don't have even more. How productive is that? How productive can your day be if it's led by thoughts of what you can't do and despair and sadness. And to be honest, those thoughts don't even tell the truth, because if you're making choices out of sadness and depression in this time, you can't make very good choices. So whatever your thoughts are telling you, they're probably not true, because you cannot get truthful information, helpful information out of emotions of despair and depression. So focus on the positive, get some new routines in your life, but make sure that you're doing something.
Well, I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing advice. And thank you so much. The only thing, Nicole, I'm going to add to that is be intentional about supporting Black businesses. Be intentional about spending your money when you are able to spend money, whether it be online or shopping at a Black-owned, woman-owned business. Be intentional about that, because that helps to support and to sustain the very same organizations and businesses that are the fabric of our overall community.
That is very important, and that is why blackwallstreet.com on Kalamazoo on Facebook is so important, because if you go there, you are intentional about supporting a Black business. And now more than ever, we need to be supporting those businesses. Downtown focused efforts on business on their businesses by setting up curbside pickups, gift certificates. And so we should be doing that too. So this is a perfect time when everything else is shut down to help us thrive, because we still have dollars coming in most communities, whether it's through unemployment or, someone is still receiving their checks from work. So we need to make sure that we are using this time to support a new business and try a new business.
Absolutely. So before we leave the table, let's talk about again, or tell the people again, how to get in contact with Black Wall Street, the website, and how to connect on Facebook.
So the Facebook is just what the name is, Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. If you ask to join the group, you'll be asked 3 short questions just to make sure that you understand the rules. Anyone can join the page, and anyone should in our community if you're about supporting community. And the only thing that you cannot do is obviously promote a service or a business that is not owned by an African American person, because the intention is to increase the lifespan of the African American dollar in our community. Go to the website, take a look at the list of businesses. The website is blackwallstreetkalamazoo.org, and you can also sign up for our email updates there.
Well, Nicole, I think I seen y'all with some paraphernalia one day, some t-shirts and some mugs. Can you purchase stuff on the website?
Yes, you can. If you go, there is a store on the site where you can purchase a Black Wall Street coffee mugs, community and collaboration, wristbands, t-shirts. Also, we want to open up a marketplace. So if people have products and things that they are selling, we're going to start gathering those and linking those to the website too, so that you can have that extra exposure and capture some sales that way too.
Well, awesome. It's been amazing being here at the table with you. One of my favorite quotes, Nicole, is Shirley Chisholm. She talked about, if they don't create a seat at the table for you, bring your folding chair. And that's what we've been doing for decades, right? Pulling up to the table with our own folding chair. Well, this year I decided I'm gonna create my own table. We're gonna have our very own conversations and change the narrative.
Congratulations.
And that's why I love MOOReTV and this table talk, because we're not filtered. We keep it real, and we have the opportunity to inspire our community and empower us to get the tools, the access and opportunity so that we can continue on doing what we need to do for America. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. And I want to personally invite you to come back, because you wear so many hats. You have so many talents. Your professionalism is expanding. So we're going to have you back again to talk a little bit more about some mental health and all kind of stuff. So again, thank you for being here. You can catch us anytime on MOOReTV, or we're on Public Media Network, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.